Hello everyone, I'm TimRuler15 and today I'm going to show you guys how to record from an emulator and how to add a transparent chat overlay to your stream. So first we need to go to the scenes area here. Now I already have my Dazzle set up from one scene, but I want to set up a different device, so we're going to go to add here, or you could right click in this area and press add, it doesn't really matter. So add, and then type in the name of your scene. I'll do GBA because I'm recording from a Game Boy Advance emulator named Visual Boy Advance. And now we have our own sources and mixer for this scene, this new scene that we created. So let's add the emulator. So let's go ahead and open up our emulator. Let me, hold on, turn that volume down. Okay, so open the game, we'll do Pokemon Leaf Green, and we'll go ahead and resize this window and make it bigger, because the bigger your window is, the better the resolution will be on your stream. So we'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and skip through all this. Okay, now we have our emulator ready. So we're going to add the video source, so go to add in the sources area, and then select window capture. And then you can name it whatever you want. I'll name it Visual Boy Advance. Make source visible always. Okay, and now we have our emulator opening up in OBS. So make sure the window is your emulator, of course. Set to your emulator. Make sure that window match priority is match title. Otherwise, find window of same type, and it'll by default capture your cursor like that. See? And if you don't want that, you can just turn it off here. I'll turn it off anyway. So now it's not showing up anymore on OBS. And then leave multi-adapter compatibility alone. So you can leave this on or off if you want, but leave everything else alone. And then press OK. And now it is here in OBS, our emulator. And you'll notice that you can't move the window normally. It changes size at a fixed ratio. So to fix that, click inside this box, right click it, select transform, and then fit to screen, and then you can change it normally. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it at full screen. So now we have our emulator, we have our video source, and it is capturing everything in real time. But now we want our audio source. So go over here to sources, press add, and then select audio output capture. This is important. Not audio input capture as you would with the mic, audio output capture. Because we want to capture the sound from our speakers and our sound card that it's in our PC, our internal sound card. So select that and then rename it. I'll name it VBA Audio for Visual Boy Advance Audio. And then I'll select my speakers and sound card. I don't really bother with that. It doesn't really matter if you leave it checked or unchecked. Use device timestamps. Just don't worry about that one. And press OK. And now it is capturing audio from our emulator, as you can see down here. It's still recording everything in real time. Now we are going to add a mic. And as I said in the previous video, you just go to add and then audio input capture this time, not output capture, input capture for input devices such as a mic. And then you can create a new source and then add your mic. But I already have a mic from my existing Dazzle setup, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Add the microphone from that. And now it's capturing my voice and the audio from the emulator at the same time. And it's still recording everything in real time. So you can see that the microphone from my Dazzle setup here has been moved to my GBA setup over here. Well, not moved, but copied. So that's really nice. So now we have everything in our emulator set up. Now we want to add a transparent chat overlay. So go over here to sources and then select browser source. I already have a chat set up in my Dazzle setup, but I'm not going to mess with that because I want to show you guys how to make your own chat setup. So I'll just name it chat2 for now and create a new source, and then this is what the window should look like when you open it up. But I don't want this URL. I want the URL of the chat window. on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and open up YouTube, click on this icon over here, and select Creator Studio. Then go over here to the left and select Live Streaming. And then if you're not already in the Stream Now page of your live streaming, of the live streaming part of your account, make sure that you are in that page, Stream Now. So we are now at your live streaming page, the page that you'll come to when you're streaming. But see, this next part is really tricky because if you don't do it correctly, then your chat window won't work. You could get the URL from your chat window right here on your private streaming page by going over to this icon here next to the settings icon, selecting pop out chat, and then selecting the URL and copying it and pasting it here. But we don't want to do that because you might get a big white box with a message in the middle, in the center, that says this video is unavailable. And some people have reported that this happens to them, and the reason why is because you are getting the chat URL from a private page, you know, a page that only you can see. So in order to fix this, we need to get the URL from a public page, a page that everyone can see. So we need to get it from our public streaming page, you know, the page that everyone watches when they're watching your stream. So to remedy this, let's go ahead and restore the chat. So make sure that privacy is public, is set to public, and then go to advanced settings here. And then we go to view on watch page here in the top right. Now, it doesn't matter what tab you are on for most of these, except ingestion settings, I think, because this button will always be in the top right. So click on view on watch page, and it'll take us to the stream page that people will see when they're streaming, when they're seeing your stream. So it's a public streaming page instead of the private one on your dashboard. So now we are on the public streaming page, and so now we're going to copy the chat URL from this window, not the other window right here on the private streaming page, this window right here on the public streaming page. So click on this icon, select pop out chat so that the chat's in a separate window. And again, you can restore it, but for now we want to pop it out so that we can get the URL. Copy this URL by clicking on it and then selecting copy. And go over here and paste it in this URL section right here in the chat to source window. So now we have our chat URL from the public streaming page. And I like to keep the width at 350 and the height at 300 for the chat box. That just sets up how big your chat overlay will be on the stream. These are the settings I like to use, and I keep FPS at 30. You can change any of those if you want, but I'm just going to leave it like that and leave everything else alone. Don't check this because it's not a local file. This chat overlay is not a local file. So press OK, and it'll take a moment to change, so just wait. And now the chat window will look like this, but we don't want it like this because this is no better than a window capture. Now you could change this size right here and then put this window to the right over here, but that doesn't look very good to me. So we're going to go ahead and turn it into a transparent chat overlay because that'll look much more professional. Okay. And it looks cooler too, of course. So we are going to go ahead and go to our browser, and I'm going to open up this link right here, Chat version 2 style generator. So the website is https://chatv2.septapis.com. That's the URL for the chat version 2 style generator. That will give us the code we need to make a transparent chat overlay. And I'll link the website in the description, of course. So now we are at this website. And this is a template over here that shows us what our chat overlay will look like if we mess with the settings here. So you can change the font of the channel names and the font of the messages that the channel names have. You can also change the colors and the font size, and there are just so many options here, and it's really cool. But I'm going to go ahead and, for example, I'm going to make the color of normal YouTube users dark gray, so that their channel names appear in dark gray. I'll make mine green, so that my channel name appears in green. I'll make the moderators red, and I'll make the sponsors orange. I don't have sponsors, so I don't mess with that, but I'm just going to do that for example. So these colored boxes right here, don't worry about them. That's not what your chat's going to look like. Your chat is going to look like this top area right here with these 4 lines. But if you want to add colored boxes to your chat, you can do that down here in the background section. So you could have the message background color for normal users, the owner message background color for you, of course, the moderator message background color for moderators, and the sponsor message background color for sponsors. So it'll all look like that. But I don't like doing it like that because I want it to be completely transparent. So I'm just going to leave that alone for now. If you want to do it that way, you can, but I'm not going to. Okay, and let me go ahead and change the font of both the channel names and the messages. So I'll do this one, for example, and I'll do this one, for example. So it looked like that. I wouldn't actually use this because I think all this looks ugly, but this is just an example, so I'll just leave it like that. I'll leave the font sizes alone. You can also change the message of the color of the messages, as I said earlier. I'm going to change that to light blue, so it'll look like this. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. When you're done with all this, scroll all the way down. You can mess with all the other settings too, but I'm not going to because I don't mess with those. I just mess with the ones I messed with. Okay, so scroll all the way down to the CSS box right here, the CSS section, and what this says is that after you're done making all of your changes, this generator makes a code that you can copy into OBS so that you can have a chat overlay. So we're going to go ahead and select all of this, copy it, go over here, open up the chat source, and we're going to go ahead and go to the CSS box right here, erase everything here. It is not important. We're going to paste that in here, and I'm going to press OK. And now it will turn into a transparent chat source, but it's not showing anything yet because we haven't typed in anything. So let me go ahead and put the chat window over here. And I like having it this way so that I can monitor OBS and the chat at the same time. And you actually don't even need this chat window to be popped out. You can leave it in this public page, or you could even close a public page and just use the chat window from your own streaming page and pop that out too if you want. But it doesn't matter. As long as you get the URL from the chat window on your public page, you're good. And then after that, you can use whatever chat window you want. But let me go ahead and put the chat window here. And we're going to type some things. So, test. And it's going to show up over here. So now we're going to do test 2. And it's going to show up over here again. And more tests. And I hate tests. Yeah, see, so now you can see that it's recording everything in the chat at real time, which is really cool. So now you have a chat overlay and the emulator. So that's pretty much it. That's all you need to know about creating a chat overlay and recording from your emulator. So I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. I'm TeamRuler15, and if you have suggestions on how I can make my chat window look better, you can play with the chat generator and then send me suggestions in the comments. But anyway, I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. I'm TeamRuler15, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.